Finally, The Rock has come back!
Where's the goat? The goat!
Oh, bitch, we in for a good one. We'll do it live!
Push that ass away!
Bitch, don't tell me what to do!
You're far right, you're an asshole. You're far left, you're an asshole.
We'll do it live! Fuck it! We'll do it live! We'll do it live! We'll do it live! We'll do it live!
Good evening, not Vietnam, not Shadowloo, but YouTube. It's your boy Animaine coming back to you with another episode of We'll Do It Live. Bond of the Blade issue 1 live on Kickstarter, funded in 1 hour edition. When I say let's get it, I mean let's go. That's right. We are going to be chilling with you guys this evening, talking about all things Bond of the Blade related, campaign related, indie comic related, and we just gonna be having a good time, man. And as you guys know, before we get started, nothing's different. Just because this is my first stream in like 5 months doesn't mean anything changed. Okay, this is the same Animaine. Okay, so y'all already know how we get down here. If this is your first time in my chat room, welcome. I did share the stream out with my followers from my second channel, Storm Corey HQ. I am so obsessed with my favorite mainstream comic waifus, I gave them their own channel. And we've been partying over there for a year, man. It's great. If you haven't followed that channel yet, please go ahead and do so. We just been partying over there. It's just been a ball. But today is about Bond of the Blade, and today is such a monumentous day for Animaine and my Animaniacs that I had to bring on 2 absolute mad lads of Mad Lassia to rein it in, man. These are 2 of my good friends, longtime supporters. I got my man Jared, aka Frost Comics. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing fantastic, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I can't possibly be doing better right now. And of course, we have the man, the myth, the legend, the author of the Black Crown himself. He is doing it big for the indie scene. John A. Douglas, or as I likes to call him, that was too low, wasn't it? Let's try that again. It wouldn't be an Animaine. That wouldn't be an Animaine stream if there wasn't at least one boomering. I didn't boomer something, as if I'm not the main generation that does this shit. Let's try that again. It's John A. Douglas, or as I likes to call him.
Dude, John doesn't give a shit.
So here's John Douglas.
Hello.
Big Dick John Douglas right here.
That's right. Big Dick John Douglas. Shout out to Royce and all the crazy motherfuckers that keep throwing all these crazy nicknames on him. That one stuck the most. And damn, bro. But yeah, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I hate that I can't be here for too much longer because I'm up against a bit of a hard time limit because I got to go to work, and if I don't leave it at that time, I will be late and I will be behind. But I wanted to be here at the very least as much as I could for the launch of your comic, which I have long awaited myself.
Yes.
But I'm broke now, so I can't do it. So, oh well.
I missed the vote. If only I wasn't such a brokey, I could have got it out earlier when you were balling out of control, and then you could have funded at the top tier. But now I'm just gonna have to, wait my turn. It's okay.
I get paid at the end of the week. It'll be all right. You caught me between checks. That's all.
It's all good, man.
Eric July does the exact same damn thing. He always launches his campaigns in between I'm getting paid, and so I'm always like getting my books later than everybody else.
Look, you got to eat some of that humble pie. You got to crowdfund being able to afford it.
Right.
Start a GoFundMe for $15 and then back it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I could make several jokes here, but I'm just going to keep moving because we're on a time crunch and I want to respect my man's time. But before we get into anything else, Y'all already know what time it is. We got to shout out the chat room because without the chat room, we are nothing. And today is definitely evidence of that because some of y'all in the chat have been back in the book. So shout out to my man Arno, aka Cact Man. You can change your name as many times as you want, sure. It's not going to change the fact that you have your own corner. And just because I'm happy to see you doesn't mean I won't put you in it. Obviously, we got my man Frost, who is on the panel here. We got Hero Darky Dark talking about purple stuff, the purple drink, purple stuff that is good. Shout out to B.A. Turner, who is always doing it big over on Twitter/X, doing it big with his own works and talking about other people's indie creations. Shout out to you, good sir. And shout out to everyone who is watching, listening, and lurking. I know I'm streaming at a random time, just like I launched my campaign at a random time. I'm just a random motherfucker. So that's
right.
One of these days I'll get it together, but not today, not like that. But we do have to talk about this absolutely goated campaign because, as I said at the beginning of the stream, it is already funded, and it is currently, if I can go ahead and get my screen share up, we are currently sitting at $667 with a pledge goal of $500. So absolutely blowing it out the park. And I couldn't be prouder of my heretics right here. They're really doing all the work. I'm just a humble messenger.
That is an amazing photo that you picked.
Yeah, that's a damn good cover.
That's great.
That is a fucking awesome cover.
Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do this here because what happened was, so for those of you who've been following me a bit more on Twitter, maybe talk to me on Discord, you'll know that the past 3 to 4 years have been pretty ass on my end. And this summer had been more ass than it had been in a while. And it was really fucking with me. But I ended up coming into some actual good circumstances. I ended up getting hired by a pretty big YouTube channel that basically covers all the stuff that I talk about now. And so I'm getting to use my editing skills for a larger YouTube channel, which has always been my dream editing wise. So that and a short but very interesting time at Walmart at the overnight stock position, which I may make a separate video about another day. But that
got you.
Yeah. But one good thing that did was it gave me the money I needed to not only start turning around my financial situation, but it gave me a little extra cash to be able to invest in the book. So first thing I said was, wait a minute, my homeboy Tyler, shout out to Tyler Carpenter of Draw and Talk. He was like, yeah, you got some good covers, man, but where's your variant covers from other artists? I was like, God damn it. I need an actual variant cover from someone else. And so I went and I found this really dope artist by the name of Cody Conyers. And as soon as I can figure out, okay, so fucking StreamYard has changed stuff since the last time I streamed. So you know what? Fuck it. We're going to go to the page because it's on the page. So my man, Cody Conyers, put this together, and this absolute work of art. It's crunched down here, so this picture here doesn't do it justice. I'm going to try and find a way to actually stream or actually share the screen with what's on my my desktop so you can see that. But I outdid myself with the way I designed this cover. Obviously, shout out to Goichi Monji, my interior artist. He did the damn thing with the first 2 covers. But this one that Cody did, man, he just killed it, man. From Ashira's wings to the way everyone's sectioned off on the page and everything, just perfection. Absolute fucking perfection. Absolute perfection. And hold up, wait a minute. Doth my eyes deceive me? There is a random squid in the chat. Ma'am, where have you been? The streets need you. The streets freaking need you, girl. Where have you been? You done just, I know Twitter is ass, but you done just abandoned it altogether.
Changed Twitter handles a couple times too.
Always changing shit, man. But look, I need you in here. I'm glad you are one of the faces I was really hoping would turn up tonight. But before we get too much deeper into things, John, I gotta ask you, Jared, I'm gonna let you cheat. But I do have to ask you, man, because you have been one of my longest genuine supporters and just really die hard, like, yeah, man, I love it. I can't wait for it. So I gotta ask you if you could just tell the people in as many or few words as you please. What do you like so much about Bond of the Blade? Or what are you looking forward to the most when you get issue 1? You can answer either question.
Should I go first to you, John? You got less time?
You go ahead.
Well, the truthful answer deep down is it assuages my white guilt. But to be honest, what it actually is that it's like this perfect fusion of all of the stuff that I care about. So I don't want to jump ahead. I don't know if we're going to go like through the campaign. You have stretch goals, right?
I do.
The biggest stretch goal is the $3,000 mark where you get more content, which is the best one. But the one I am the most excited about is the $1,000 stretch goal because of exactly what I was talking about. Like, you have this perfect combination of like all of the stuff that I care about. So like fighting game move prints is like the coolest thing in the world to me. I'm like, when as soon as I saw that from you, I was like, this is amazing. I want this one more than anything else because that's like just the coolest, nerdiest, like, I don't know. So it's the fusion of everything that makes you and all this stuff that I care about. And it's like this perfect, I don't know, this perfect storm of just wonderful, awesome fiction that's what I'm excited about the most. So it's the fact that you have the shonen style, the art style, the way that you have the team working, like the dynamic, and like then you have the fighting game move prints. It's not just because it's a fighting game move print. It's because when I look at the characters, like when you like just down there where you have meet the team, when I look at the characters, like it's so easy for me to envision like them on like a screen select, like I could see playing like Double Dragon or something like that and picking Jin, you know what I mean? And just so like that it's so cool to like to imagine that. And like, oh, I think I'll play as Chant this time. I think I'll play as Shin this time. That's awesome. So like it's the fusion of everything all together that has made me genuinely so excited. Not as a friend of yours, but as just someone who loves unique fiction. I'm so excited for that reason.
Absolutely, bro. You put it almost better than I could, but that's really was my goal here, was to fuse a lot of the things I love, my cultures, my pastimes, even the fact that there's so much like spiritualism and and Christian or Abrahamic iconography in it. Though I'm not religious anymore, I was raised Christian, grew up in the church. So this is in a very nerdy way, me taking something that was once very important to me, and something that I still have a lot of respect for, even though I'm not a practitioner anymore, and weaving that into my own original work. But yeah, definitely the fighting game side of it. I was just talking to one of my friends a couple weeks ago, and we were just kicking around ideas for the campaign, and I was like, I kind of want to do trading cards, but I feel like trading cards is something that it's very common right now, and I feel like if I just came out the gate with trading cards, I'd get lost in the shuffle. But if I could find a way to do it in a unique way that no one else is really doing, and I thought, hey, all this video game stuff we're implementing, why not make it video game style? Why not have it be like those fighting game manual sheets? So that's how that idea was born. So yeah, cool. You're definitely going to get that. But before I get too deep in the weeds with stuff, I got to hear from John. Don't want to hold you too long, but I have to hear, what do you like, or what are you looking forward to the most from Bond of the Blade?
Well, I just looked through all of this and I realized there's no orcs in it, so I might not be back in this.
Darn it!
I got to stay on brand. No, for me, it's the fantastic elements of it. It's I think it hit me one day like a brick in the face when we were talking about at one point that I put it in like D&D terms that your angel character is Shira, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
is basically a patron for the characters. Essentially, your street level superheroes are warlocks. And I'm like, once I
Pretty much.
internalize it like that, I'm like, oh, okay, this makes a lot more sense to me now because that's how my dumb brain works. And you and me, we both grew up in the same era of street level heroes with interesting powers, whether it was live action stuff or cartoons or comic books. I always appreciate a good street level kind of hero approach. It's why I'm so excited to do a Back Horseman that Eric July just put out.
Yeah,
I also get paid because
Seen
that
that
looks
too.
awesome. And Bond of the Blade, that fills in another niche. You have these street level heroes trying to take back their city from nefarious forces. I mean, really, you don't need much more than that to sell me on the idea. But knowing you for as long as I have, it's what I've always said about indie creators. The heart behind it is better than anything that I get from the corpo slop. We're how many years into the downfall of the MCU, and like they cannot do this same concept in an interesting and compelling way anymore. But the indie spaces are absolutely loaded with it. And bro, your stuff is just goated with the sauce. That's all there is to it, man. It's got the riz, it's got the drip, it's got all the things.
I love it. That's the stamp of endorsement right there. Bond of the Blade is goated with the sauce. That just might be how I quote you on all these things here. But yeah, man, is you touched on a lot of things, and you're right. Unfortunately, when I see so much of what's coming out from the mainstream, I've calmed down a lot from like my 2021, 2022 era, where I was like on fire with like vitriol of things, and now I'm just more disappointed, and apathy is really setting in for a lot of things. There are a few things that I'm still checking out or slightly hopeful about, but for the most part, I'm kind of like, I'm okay if this never really turns around, because like I've spent so much time working on my own stuff that I don't even have time to get so mad about whatever they're doing in whatever. Like when the Acolyte came out, the only reason I even watched that is because I'm editing for a channel that was covering it week by week. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have even blinked about an Acolyte.
No. And I'm at the same place too. I am at the apathy stage of all of this. Back in 2020, like the same time, I was just, all piss and vinegar about this kind of stuff. And the channels that are still kind of covering it and calling it out have really leveled up to a different place, and they are, much more effective in the nerd spaces. That was always my thing. I could have sat there and at the birth of my channel, and I tried to kind of start getting into that and add my voice to that. But after a while, I realized, one, I couldn't really, match that kind of output or quality. But two, when I started reading these indie projects and seeing, and I'm like, all these indie voices, we have so many creators, we have so few platforms. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just shift my channel over to Signal Boost, who I can, what I can. Everybody wants somebody to be their biggest fan. At the very least, I can do that. And I've been rewarded with the indie projects more often than not. I don't get a lot of these people that feel like they have to stand up and be this arbitrary self-appointed quality control. I'm gonna dog on your shit just because you have to be better than this. Well, I've always believed that the only thing that creators need to get better is to create and keep creating and keep getting better, and using positive feedback, rejecting negative feedback, and moving forward until they reach a point where what they're putting out is consistently at a level that their fans like. And that's what I've always wanted to see from every indie creator. It's what I demand of myself, and it's what I see in you. Like even from when I first saw the Bond of the Blade a couple of years ago, just your preview pages, like you and your artist have really leveled up to a great place.
Yeah. It's bad. Like it's bad how good we've gotten with this shit. And like, obviously there's gonna be growing pains. There's gonna be the that sense of, okay, I'm just getting started. I'm just really getting my groove and everything. But I always say that for any creative person, it don't matter if you're making if you're trying to be a content creator, a writer, an artist, a musician, whatever, every whatever, but use whatever benchmark you want to use. But I know for me, every 6 months, I say to myself, if I can look at something I wrote 6 months ago and cringe, I'm in a good spot. I should, and that's not because it's so bad. It's just I've leveled up so much. If it's at least 6 months, then I'm good. If it's something like more like a year, then it should be like, oh my God, why did I even write this? Like, genuinely, that's why I don't promote the mini art much anymore. Like, both my writing and Go's art, and I've never thought Go's art was bad, but I read some of the stuff, like some of the decisions I made in the story, some of the lines, I'm like, who the fuck let me publish this? Why is this is me?
Yeah, you're always going to feel that way.
Are you sure I wrote this?
It's true.
You're never going to start where you really want, but the important thing is to just start. And before we get going too much, this is where I have to duck out. But again, I just want to say congratulations. You and me are going to be streaming at a future date, not too long. I think next week. I've got a stretch of like 12 and 16-hour shifts coming up for like 12 days in a row. So I'm going to be tired. I'm going to sleep in late that day. We're going to do it in the evening, and I'm going to have a lot of coffee to compensate for it. But congratulations, Animaine. Expect my backing to come once my paycheck hits. And if you'll excuse me, I got to go get to work so I can fund your comic.
Love it, man. Go make the ducats, feed the family, and get ready to fund the comic, bro.
Good talking to you, John.
What?
I said, good talking to you, man.
Oh, you too, man. Later, guys.
All right. Later. All right. Me and Jared, the Troll Supreme. And that is perfectly fine because we got to go in, man. So we're going to go ahead and start going through a bit of the campaign. Unfortunately, I do not have the premium trailer ready for you guys because, I'll just own up to my own play here. I overslept this morning. My plan was to get up at 8 to finish everything. I got up damn near at 9:30. So unless I wanted to delay the campaign all the way till the afternoon, I was like, you know what? This is perfect because now I need to focus on what matters more, getting this trailer out or getting the actual campaign out. I chose the campaign. It's on track to be finished, hopefully before the end of the week, and we're going to throw it out there, and it's going to be live as hell. But right now, the campaign is doing more than successful on its own here. And man, so what we have right here is issue 1 of Bond of the Blade. By the way, guys, I am going to be taking questions. If anyone has questions about the campaign itself, what's being offered, even if you have story questions, as long as it's not something that's a spoiler, I'll answer it. And if it is going to be a spoiler, I'll just tell you that's something you'll find out later in the book. But
too hot for YouTube. Find out later.
Exactly. Find out later. And speaking of too hot for YouTube, there's some stuff I'm offering with this campaign that's too hot for YouTube. I'm gonna have to be careful how I scroll. I put the censored versions up here, but even they might get me flagged. So if you see me quickly scroll like that, I'm just avoiding the spicy stuff. But I'm actually really hype about this campaign and the way everything's coming together. Like we mentioned before, we have 3 awesome covers, 2 done by my man Giuseppe Gallo, aka Goichi Monji. The one on the right here is my homage to the Double Dragon 2 artwork, The Revenge, which was my favorite beat 'em up game growing up. The one in the middle here is actually a recreation and slight adjustment of the very first time we drew all 3 heretics and Ashira together, which was 3 years ago. And then this one from Cody, that's just something I thought up pretty much on the fly when I was like, oh, I have money. I'm not pissy broke anymore. I can afford things. Let me go get another variant cover. Okay, I need a variant cover composition. And I just thought of this. And the Ashira's pose here, believe it or not, if you remember the Endless Waltz movie, the Gundam Wing Endless Waltz movie, the scene in space when Hero's in Wing Zero and it like unfolds its wings in space, that's what inspired this pose.
This is what I'm talking about when I talk about the fusion of all the nerdy stuff that I love. That's
yeah, like there. That's one thing you're gonna get from me. Like I fuse I fuse everything, man. Even when I was thinking of some future characters today, like I redesigned one of my characters recently, and the outfit he has now is like a fusion of like an African dashiki suit and like a kung fu suit. And I'm like, you
Nice.
know what? We just got to keep going with all this shit, bro. And I'm gonna try and make this damn picture big again because I want y'all to see it full. Like you're not getting the full effect with it up there. Okay, I think this is it now. Here we go. Now
There we go.
now
Yeah.
we can see it. God, just look at this, man. Like this is just so flipping beautiful, man. I love the way he I love one thing I've always loved is seeing my characters done by different artists, seeing how they
Yeah.
interpret them. Like I love the way he did Chant's eyes and her braids right here. I love it's weird looking at Vice excuse me. Y'all know what that from. I'm not gonna say it, but y'all know why I'm a Herman. But is it just me or does he remind you kind of Eric July? You feel like if Eric July
It kind of does actually.
had like
Maybe he
a
had like
mask or
if
something.
you gotta draw a beard on him there, and
Right,
yeah.
exactly. It's almost like Eric July when I've seen him do this. I'm like,
give him like
oh,
the lightning winged hat, and
exactly, lightning
there you
wing
go.
hat. And
Right.
I guarantee you, I may just canonically make it so that Will's shoulders are just ridiculously hairy. I may just give Will the hairy shoulders.
Oh my god!
And
That
then
was
we got
amazing.
my man
I
my
support
man
this.
Shen down here who's always looking fresh and clean. And
I
then
love the way that he drew his gaze, and that it looks like so intense, man.
Shen.
Shen? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he don't fuck around. He don't give a
It
fuck.
was like, yeah, he looks ready,
he,
dude.
he coming for that ass, right? But then the jewel right here is just Ashira, and oh my god, like the wings, the shininess on the gold parts of her dress and her jewelry, the perfect bronzeness of her skin, the muscle to mommy ratio. I'd say that like the muscleness to the momminess, it just makes
Right.
her perfect muscle mommy.
Nice.
So like he just did the damn thing,
So
man.
speaking
Love
of the colors, did Cody do
Mhm.
the colors for this as well?
Yep, he did everything.
Wow.
Line work, colors, did it all, man. So definitely if you're and his commissions I think are always open. So if you're in the neighborhood for some comic art or just commissions of any kind, man, just hit up Cody Conyers. I cannot remember his name right now. I'll probably have Jared talk about something insipid for a few seconds in a bit so that I can find it in
That's my
plug in the
specialty,
chat.
so no problem.
Absolutely. But yeah, man, this is just such a goated cover. And once I saw that, I knew, pretty much I knew right away that this was gonna be a successful campaign. Cause like these ones, they're doing good. This one right here, though, this catches a lot of people's eye. But let's not sleep on my boy Go, because we've got stuff that he's been doing just over the past year and a half that's still catching a lot of people's eyes here. But moving on a little bit. So what actually happens in issue 1? Because that's something that I haven't spoken a whole lot about. It's basically been more like a general sense of what the story is about. But what happens in issue 1? So in issue 1, I figured I'd take a page out of the Young Heroes book, and one of the struggles that every newer young hero has is trying to balance their regular life as well as what they're doing on the clock. So in every issue I have on focusing on one of the specific heretics. So Shen being the leader, he gets to be the first one to be the main focus of this one. So
Match.
Exactly. So as we've seen, as I've shown off a lot of the preview pages, speaking of which, let's just go to the preview pages. You have the heretics here who are getting a drop on the zealots, who are the more street looking people, and then these more mafioso looking guys fucking them up all good. And without spoiling the entire match, I will tell you that at its conclusion, they get some key information about the demon drug, which is what the zealots take to get their powers. And so, like, you see the guy here, Fat Sacks, balling up his
Love
fist.
the colors there, by the way.
Yeah, Go did the damn thing. Just
Energy is
absolutely
amazing. The colors
ridiculous.
there. Yeah.
But they get some information about that, and so they decide that that's gonna be their next mission. And so Shen, or Terry as his regular name is, he's a young man in college, and being a young man who was once young and in college, I can tell you something that happens a lot is you run into people who you fancy. You run into the opposite sex or same sex, whatever it is for you, but you run into somebody. And so Shen runs into this young woman right here whose name is Althea. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and pull up. Since y'all are here hanging out with me, I'm gonna pull up one of the pages here. You'll see some of the full pages from when we meet her here. But they meet. See, that's why I say you got to come to these.
Yeah,
you got to come to these streams, man, because you get extra shit. Y'all get extra shit. Like I spoil you bastards because I love you so damn much. But here, okay, so we got here, and Arno, I know you asked earlier about where's Grandma and Grandpa. They're here. They get introduced in this book as well. That's Emmett there in the background, Terry's grandfather, and this is Regina, who is his grandmother. Who both of these are characters who are near and dear to my heart. I based them loosely off of my late parents, so definitely I was excited to go ahead and introduce them. But you can see he's on the phone talking with her, and seeing as how they're both martial arts masters in their own right, and they used to work with Ashira way back in the day, so they're aware that Terry is Shen. They're aware of the heretics. They're in on it. And right now they're like the only ones outside of the heretics themselves who are in on it. But Shen's on the phone talking to his grandma, Nana, as he affectionately calls her, and he's so into the conversation that he doesn't notice there's someone walking up behind him, and then he hangs up the phone and bam, just walks right into the girl. Just look, Shen started off as a self-insert, and if left up to my own devices, I can be a bit of a klutz. So I figured, hey, what's a better meet cute for a self-insert character than to have him just walk in her? Like literally, I ran into a cute girl today. Oh, really? What happened? I ran into a cute girl today. So he sees her, and they have a nice little nerdy meet cute here, and they eventually go on to plan their first date. And it just happens to be on the night that they're supposed to be having that big bust. So that's going to be the second half of the book. The second half of the issue is going to be how does Terry juggle meeting this cute girl and not letting her down with also being present with his team, which if you've read the mini arc, one thing that Shen is, because all the characters, they obviously have their big reason for doing everything, but they also have like a very personal reason. And without spoiling too much, it stems back to some great mistake that they made in the past that causes them to have like a lot of character specific flaws. And so Shen's is, he puts everything on himself and he feels like he has to do everything. When he's on the boots on the ground, he's like, no, I'll fight all the bad guys. I'll do everything. This is what almost got him messed up in the mini arc because he didn't wait for backup. And so that almost got him really fucked up. And then in his civilian life, even, he often just puts too much on his plate. So he's like, you know what? I can do it. I can do it. I'm capable. I'm learning how to do this whole vigilante thing. I can bust some stupid criminals. Like we busted those guys earlier and they weren't even that hard. So we can do this. Like I'll just do both. And so seeing how that plays out and the comedic and serious ways that unfolds is going to be something I can't wait for you guys to see in the book itself. But tell me, how do you feel about everything so far, Jared, while I grab this man's name so I can shill his shit?
I mean, it's classic, right? Like people who know anything about me know that I love Spider-Girl and Spider-Man. And if there's one thing that the Spider is famous for, it's trying to balance work /life /vigilantism. So That's kind of my stuff, you know. I love that. I love that kind of thing. So knowing that I'm going to get a nice dose of that is very exciting. I like that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just to let you guys know that this I have such big plans for this story. Like it's gonna go so many weird places, so many awesome places, but I figure every good story, even the most out there anime, the most out there everything, has to start small. Before Yusuke was fighting S-class demons for the fate of the multiverse, essentially, he was a delinquent who sacrificed himself to save a little kid crossing the street and got a second chance at life. Before Goku was fighting gods of destruction and ancient demons who pop planets like pimples, he was just a martial arts kid living in the wilderness who was trying to do his best to honor his late grandfather. And then he got hit by a car by a woman with blue hair who shot her. And then they became friends and went on a magic quest to find the wish granting Dragon Balls. All great, humongous things. You know, before Naruto became Hokage and fought all the crazy ass people. I'm not nearly as much into Naruto as other stuff. But before he was just part of a trio of friends who were just trying to pass their ninja exams. You know, all this stuff starts basic and starts small. And so you connect with the characters, you connect with who they are and their relatable struggles. Which to quote Grim Jim, if you watch T-Shirted Historian, then you know Grim Jim definitely. Shout out to Grim Jim. But Grim once said, the more fantastic something is, the more grounded in reality the smaller elements need to be. Because we're already dealing with freaking angels and demons and spells and spirits and shit. So you got to be able to relate to the cast on a very basic way, or else it's going to be hard to connect to the peoples.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I'm going to go through here and we're going to check out some of these questions, see some of the things you guys are asking. And then we're going to start getting into some of the perks, some of the things you can look forward to in this campaign, this goated campaign. So let's see what we got here. Of course, Arno's asking about OnlyFans. Not this time around, Arno, but at some point it will come here. Shout out to Ethereal Dragon, my man. When Right Reflection is playing, before that, I think it's before that part. Like this is the point. If I could play it without getting claimed, because I know Japan don't play when it comes to them anime instrumentals. But that shot was used in like the animated the music video for White Reflection. So yeah, we're probably thinking about the same thing though. And yes, I do be fusing everything like Goten and Trunks. That is absolutely true. Nashen got the rock cocked eyebrow. Look, the people's eyebrow, it's gonna be a lot of stuff from the Rock and from wrestling in general. Jared also is a wrestling fan. I'm not gonna spoil it, but I'm gonna tell you there's a certain point in the story where there's a new character who's gonna have a lot of wrestling shit going on.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
You're gonna lose your shit. It's gonna be so good.
I'm so hyped for that. So great.
Absolutely. Hold on a sec. Okay, sorry. The hype overpowered my sinuses and I had to sneeze. But
hey,
yeah,
very well done getting to that mute switch in time. Very, very professional.
Exactly. Look, as much as I boomer stuff, I have to be able to do something professional at least sometimes. And Ethereal Dragon, it's funny you mentioned Cree Summer. Let me go ahead and bring Althea back up here. It's funny. Did I close it? Am I that stupid? Okay, there we go. It's funny you mentioned Cree Summer because in the earliest iterations of Althea's character, I envisioned her as sounding like Cree Summer. And so definitely you're right on the ball with that. You're right on the ball.
Does that say Shotgun Kitsune?
It does.
Are you gonna make that a thing? Because that seems like it should be a thing.
Listen, there are several reasons why that's in the story. And
sweet.
There are several reasons why. No, I will not elaborate. Just know There are several reasons
Oh
why
my
that's
gosh.
there. There's
Hell
because
yes.
I could have picked anything, but
Right.
that is there for a very specific reason. And there's real life lore behind that book that one day I will share. But for
That is
now,
so perfect.
you
That's
just
so
need to
perfect.
know that it's Shotgun Kitsune.
I'm a fan of Shotgun Kitsune.
There you
Give
go.
me a shirt. Put that on your next campaign. I'll buy it.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna Shotgun Kitsune merch win. There you
Yes.
go.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Take my money. Shut up and
Yeah.
take my money.
There you
right
go.
now. There you go. Oh,
Okay,
man.
so Arno again with the goated question. She says, Maine, you gave us the heretics, you gave us the zealots. When will we get the Pharisees? I mean, honestly, obviously, you know, I'm first of all, I'm glad you picked up on the theme that I'm going with here with the names, which sometimes I'm like, okay, it's obvious what I'm doing. And then other times I worry that it's going to go over people's heads. But thank you for confirming that, no, people are getting it. So Pharisees don't currently have any plans for using those, but I do like that name a lot. So I might find a way to incorporate that at some point. Squid, I don't know what we are is referring to. I'm slow, but we are. Whatever you say we are, that's what we are. That's what we are. And yes, exactly, Arno. Before Luffy went on his journey to become the Pirate King. That's right. All of that. 1000%. But yes, let's go ahead and look at some of these rewards, these add-ons. And shout out to all the people, some of whom are present, who helped me figure out how to actually make good things to offer and just how to. I've learned so much from creating this page, right? And I'm sure my next page will blow this one out the water, but I'm just so proud of my damn self for putting this damn thing together.
Looks great. It looks really, really good. I have not made a page. I've backed a lot. And I got to tell you, man, you did a hell of a good job. Like, it looks really, really clean. And I really I think I told you this before, the way that you've got everything broken up, where you've got content, text, fantastic.
Yeah.
I think you did a fantastic job with it.
Appreciate that, man. And it was really important for me to nail that part, because I know that without naming names, because we're not gonna get messy today, not too messy, but some of y'all have known that I've been acquainted with individuals who are less than good when it comes to pretty much everything to do with comic book making, and trying to get those individuals on track and to watch them insist on continuing to drive off the cliff has made me want to pull out the hair I don't have. So I was like,
you're growing it just to pull it out, you know?
Exactly. So like, that's why I had to make this page look good. That's why I said earlier, I'm like, look, I can live with this trailer taking a couple more days, because like I said, I woke up late, and then my computer has not been super cooperative lately. I've even been working on stuff for Jared for some of his projects, and that's taken me longer than I would have liked because of the damn thing. But it is what it is. I'm going to just make it work how I got to make it work. But I'm like, I can live with that being late. I cannot live with this page being too much later than it already is. So I had to go through. I had to make sure it looked good. I had to make sure all the tiers and everything was correct. Because we're not having no shenanigans, y'all. I just wasn't ready to deal with no high profile shenanigans.
Clearly you made the right decision, because look, you're at 667, you know, so
667, 667. Shout out to Weekend. For anybody who's a Smite content watcher, y'all know what 667 is and how that connects to Weekend. But shout out to Weekend. But yeah, let's get into these rewards. So like I said earlier, we are offering the PDF, which also comes with all the covers are inserted in the PDF. So I figured rather than charging people for like multiple different PDFs, I'll just put all the covers in there. And I got that from Iconic Comics, like Mark and Tim. They do that. You get when you get the digital version of their books, that just has all the covers. Like, I feel like if it's not going to be physical, there's no point in me putting a bunch of different things up here. But yeah, you do get that, and then you get the physical covers A, B, and C. Shout out to my man Cody Conyers. We also got some combo packs here. So if you know there's specific covers that you like, that'll give you a chance to not only get two physical books for a discount, but you get to choose different covers as well. So
That's cool. Yeah.
And also, I also want to say this here: anything that you want to buy that's an item is going to be available as an add-on as well. So if you just want to go ahead and just get 2 copies just cause, 3 copies just cause, you can do that as well. But if there's a specific cover that you want, just to make it a little bit easier on people, I went ahead and made some combo packs here that you can pick. And then there's also the Draw Me In tier, because of course, all my people here got some characters that they're working on. A lot of y'all are creators. So I figured, you know what? I'll have a Draw Me In tier. So if you have a character that you want me to feature in there, you can include them. If not, you can be included in, because I've had characters drawn into my stuff before. In the Spider Circle, actually, there's 2 friends of mine, one of whom only isn't here because she's sick. But I've drawn people in that. I've drawn Lug Berserk. Shout out to Lug.
He's awesome. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yep, he's in the Spider Circle right now.
Cool.
Yep, he's in there. He's on the pages. He's on existing pages, so you might see him somewhere in there. But yeah, for $50, you can get any physical book of your choosing. The PDF just comes free, and we will also draw you into the canon of Bond of the Blade, either yourself or a character that you have.
Yes.
And we're also, now a lot of y'all have seen this one before, this poster here, which people to this day still ask me, hey, can I get one of those? Well,
yeah,
I didn't really want to keep pushing it because, as you can see, these are the older designs from my people. I mean, Chance in her OG outfit. This is before everyone had the Afro textured hair updates. But just for the sake of having it, because it's such a throwback, and this was the first really big piece that I had go do for to promote Bond of the Blade. I'm bringing it back as a limited edition poster, so you can get that with this campaign. It is at a limited amount. And when it's done, it's done. That's it. So if you want this is going to be a piece of Bond of the Blade history, Geronimo Studios history. If you've been here from day one, you're going to want this one. This is the one I got hanging up in my office right now that I would look at while I was going through things and, get inspiration from.
Feel the inspiration.
Exactly. You got to feel it.
Feel it.
Okay. Now I know I'm getting close to the thing. So at a certain point, I'm going to have to scroll fast. I'm going to leave it on screen for half a second so y'all can see it. And then I'm gone because I'm not getting strike. I'm not getting strike. But then I also have to shout out the concept art and sketchbook that we're offering, which is going to be
that's cool.
Yeah, man, it's going to be a collection of a lot of different things Go and I have done, some of which has never seen the light of day. So everything from the original character sheets to these ones of Shen up here. This is when we were playing around with what was going to be the official art style of the book. So you can see that evolution. For all my OGs, we got the Park Girls right here, led by Stinger. I know my boy Arno is going to get in on that. And of course, everyone's favorite problematic wigger, Lil Debbie, right here. Everyone's favorite. Just good Lord. And I'm not even gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna say keep your eye out for her in issue 1. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of stuff in here. Things of future characters that we haven't made public yet, the evolution of characters, the evolution of art style. I feel like that'll be something really cool to include. Because Go's grown so much as an artist, and I want to sort of cement his growth as an artist by sharing this with you all. Sharing his progression, sharing the progression of the story, how it evolves and everything. Now, I know some of y'all are reading what this say. And yes. So this is Kickstarter. So had to do it.
Well. Yeah.
Also, I do want to say this here before I go on. The book will also be available on Fund My Comic. I ended up having to change some things about the campaign page and then resubmit it for approval. But once that goes live, I will be including that everywhere as well. And I'm going to have that campaign run for a solid month, just like this is running for a solid month. So if you prefer to back it on Fund My Comic, that's perfectly fine. Once that goes live, I'll be spamming that link just as much as I do Kickstarter. But
are you going to go into storefront mode on FMC after?
Yes. So once that's complete, that will be how we go forward. Because for this one, even for a while, you will be able to back it.
That's right. They added that on Kickstarter, didn't they? Yeah.
They added it. I think they probably added it because Fund My Comic was just like, we just gonna have it. But
you're right about that, yeah.
But this will be live, and you'll still be able to back things here, even once the initial campaign ends. But at a certain point, that's gonna stop. But I plan on having the Fund My Comic page just up indefinitely. So let's say you're on like hard times right now, you just can't get the money to back it, which if that's you, please don't feel bad. Please prioritize what you actually need to live. I am okay without getting your money if it means you have to pay for things that you actually need. This book isn't going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I would appreciate you backing it, but I'm okay without. I don't want to take your money if it's going to make your pockets thin. Absolutely not. But that store is just going to be up there forever. So if you are in that camp and you can't afford it until like January, February next year, like right when we're about to start the funding process or like the fulfillment process and everything, you can just go over to Fund My Comic and get yourself, whatever you want. And as long as it's available, you can buy it. But seeing as how our primary platform is Kickstarter, and y'all know what do good on Kickstarter, the titties.
Cthulhu?
And I say what?
Cthulhu? Was it Cthulhu or no? It's something else.
If you put titties on Cthulhu, then some people will buy that.
Some people will buy that.
Yes, but no. I seen Arno talking about some titties, Ashira titties or something, and so I got two. I got two prints. One is of Ashira by herself doing a nice little, I guess you could call it a sort of sexy warrior pose, fully nude, and that's her like in the literal flesh. And then I have another one of, I can show y'all the faces because that's not nothing spicy. I mean, they're sexy, obviously, but you can see them down.
Well, they're just beautiful young women enjoying.
They're beautiful women, yes. Yeah. Just so happens that one is a ethereal angel spirit who's naked. And I figured Ashira is a character that I don't mind looting every once in a while, because the way I sort of look at lewd art of your characters, first of all, I don't get bothered when people lewd my characters. Personally, I feel like if no one's looted your characters, then you're not nearly as big as you think you are.
It's true.
But I'm like, when it comes to looting my own characters, Ashira is one of the ones that I think it fits with, because I kind of take a approach of, I'm okay with doing it as long as it's in character. Like Michaela, that's Chant's real name. Since she's like a nice woman of faith, not like afraid of her body by any means, but also not out to flaunt nudity. I'm not gonna say it's never gonna happen, but it will be very sparingly, and it probably won't be like full frontal nudity, just because that's not who she is, at least not at this point in the story. But Ashira, being a non-human entity who's lived for over 2,000 years, she don't care about none of that shit. She's not worried about modesty. She's not worried about what people think of her body. She's almost like Starfire in that sense, where she's not so much like, oh, I can't wait to flaunt my body to turn people on. No, it's more like, I'm comfortable in my body. I don't think being nude is a big deal. If you do, then, do whatever you want. But like, I'm not doing anything to try and like entice you. I'm just enjoying myself.
She seems like the kind of person who'd say that's a you problem, not a me problem.
Exactly. Like if she were alive and she just like answered the door naked and people are like, you need to cover up, she'd be like, no, because I don't want to.
Nah.
My house, exactly. You got a problem, you look somewhere else. So not I draw none chant. And do I see a random Moly in the
Yeah.
chat? Shout out to Moly,
Yeah.
not Tithulu. Emperor, or would that be Empress Tithulu?
I think so.
There you
Yeah.
go, Empress Tithulu. But
Right.
shout out to you, man. Thank you for coming through. But yep, so I got a little some spicy picks here, and they are actually censored by the Ashira Blush Face, which is actually available for channel members right now.
Nice.
Shout out to Jonine Level Fox. How's the comic coming? I'll tell you how the comic's coming. The comic is currently sitting at $667 from a $500 goal. That's how the comic's doing, and it's going great, bro. Thank you for coming in and rocking out with us. We're just going over some of the rewards right now for the page, and you walked in us shilling titties, and that's all you get. That's all you get. That's all you get. That's all you get. If you missed it, rewind it. Rewind it. Just rewind it in the VOD, because I'm not getting this.
You either have to rewind it, or better yet, go to the page and back.
Go
if you
to the
haven't backed it yet.
page, which is pinned to the top of the chat. Go to the top of the chat. Go right over to the page. You can look at it as much as you want, and you know what you do with it is your business. But I'm just saying, I'm not leaving it on my screen to get this shit struck down.
I should have. You know what I should have done
YouTube.
if I had known ahead
What?
of time? I should have bought like some peppers, and I should have been like, if anyone backs while you're streaming, I'll eat like this ridiculously hot pepper. Do some kind of gimmick like that.
Right, exactly. We got to remember that for last time.
Yeah, next time.
Well, there's gonna be a closeout stream, and
there we go.
and probably at least one other stream during that point. So we'll remember that for next time.
There you go. I'll suffer for you. That's how
I
deep my love for
appreciate
you
that
is.
so much. You are the best, sir. Wouldn't have it any other way. Do love me some titties. Well, then it's time, bro. So go ahead over there, and you can add that as a add-on to anything. I made sure that all the things that are offered digitally or physically are available for everything, so you can just tack anything on you want. And then last but not least, there is, in terms of tiers, there is the ultra combo tier, which literally gets you everything. You get 3 books, you get 3 copies, one of each cover. You get the PDF, you get physical art book, you get the poster, the spicy prints, and the chance to be canonized into Bond of the Blade. So if you are absolutely just gung-ho about this and you just want everything right away, go ahead and back it. This is the most limited right here. We got 2 people who've taken it. There's 8 spots left for this, so go ahead and get in on this. Nice. Do not be one of these people. If you know you want this, go ahead and get it when you get the chance, because I'm not. Listen, you see here on one of the stretch goals says increased number of spicy prints. So if I run out of spicy prints, if I sell out, but we hit 2K, I'll add more. But I'm not adding any more of the ultra combo and the draw me in stuff. Once those run out, that's it. Because I'm just to make it a little easier on going myself, so that we don't have all these just army of people and characters to add to the story.
Your entire chat is the canonical.
Exactly. Just my whole the Animaniacs just become the entire
right.
The entire cast. But yeah, speaking of the stretch goals, for those who weren't here earlier when we were talking about this, once we hit 1,000, we're adding in the video game, the fighting game move prints. So basically, if you've played any fighting game ever, in fact, I have one pulled up here, because months ago I actually had this idea. I just didn't have it fleshed out. But I had this idea. And so I would remembering, I'm like, I remember those books being like sick as hell. And just to go make sure, I went and looked up one of the ones that made me have that idea. Because I remember specifically the Street Fighter Alpha 2 book, which is
exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Like, I remember that it had like such good character art. You got a full body picture. You got them doing one of their taunt poses down here with a little blurb bio. Cool. And then you have all these moves here. So that's beautiful. So this
That's
I don't
awesome.
know if it'll look exactly like this, but you can expect something in this vein.
Yeah.
And we're definitely doing all 3 of the heretics. We're gonna do a Shira. I know I want to do one for Emmett and Regina, Shen's grandparents.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
I'm also even going to include some of the zealots in there. So Fat
Oh,
Sack, who
really?
is the yep. I mean, look, there's good and bad guys in the video game.
That's
So
awesome.
at a certain point, we're going to go ahead and do all these. So what I'm
so
going to
cool.
do is, we're definitely going to have them. We'll have the zealots, and then there will be some other characters who not going to name here for spoiler reasons, but
Right.
they will be in here. And yes, you can expect something definitely of this level of quality. I may even think out what the combination would be, but
I want to see that. I want to see what you put there.
like if they were actually in the game, what
Yeah.
would the combo? What would have to be the configuration to do it? So
That's cool.
that's the
I
stretch
love
goal.
that so much. That's so cool.
I know he was like his ears perked up so big when that
That's
came
awesome.
up. But
That's so cool.
But yeah, that's gonna be at 1,000, and that's not gonna be any additional charge. Like as long as we hit 1,000, I'm just gonna have those done and start including them in people's stuff. So you don't have to come back and pay extra to get it. It's just if we hit this, you get it. And that'll be I am gonna make it physical only though. I think I'm gonna have it be physical only right now. But yes, you will get these. Then at 2K, we get more spicy prints, and then at 3K, we get 4 whole ass additional pages added. That is more story for y'all. That is more content for y'all. So definitely 1,000. Excuse me, 1,000%. Excuse me. Sucking too much dick. Anyway, I had to say it at some point, but we have met the goal. We have met it during day 1, hour 1, which is, for this being my first campaign ever, that is freaking stupendous. But do not think that this means it's time to slow down. No, we still got to go hard because we got to hit these stretch goals, y'all. I want y'all to have these fighting game move prints. I want to add 4 pages to the story because there's so much to tell. Like there's so much to tell, there's so much to do, so much to talk about, so much to implement into the story that I look forward to giving Go more work so that he can draw more shit.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness gracious. We're going to take right now. Well, I am going to take a brief intermission. Jared, if you don't mind entertaining the folks for a bit, I'm going to lubricate my throat, and then we're going to talk a bit more about the characters before we probably start looking at winding down in a bit here. But before I take my little break, y'all don't go nowhere because Jared's gonna, be here to entertain you. But I want to just shout out to a couple new people that have showed up in the chat. We always honor the chat here on Animaine because without the chat, we are nothing. Shout out to Julius Freeman Comics. Do what he says, y'all. Hit them likes. Get my likes up. What are we currently sitting at? Here? There are 11 people in the chat and 16 likes. Okay. We're good. We're good likes, but let's keep them up. Everyone, if you ain't paid yet, put it like this: if you aren't backing the book tonight, you have to like the video. I understand if you don't have the money right now, but you got to slap that like button. You got to do it right now. Thank you for coming in, bro. And I do want to read this $2 super chat from Catman. Are Shen or Vice circumcised? Whatever you think the answer is, Cat, that's the answer. Whatever you think the answer is, that's the answer. I will leave that up to your imagination. I will leave it up for your imagination. And then Hero Darky Dark says, it's time for the real question. Oiled up, butt booty naked. Who's winning the twerk off? Okay, now that's actually a very interesting question. Because, see, Michaela, she's not a very big woman, but she does have a nice little meat on her back right there. And then Althea right now, she's definitely killing it, especially for my fans of the chubbier, fluffier women. She's definitely working on some little badonkadonkage. But seeing as how Ashira is both the oldest and the most skilled, yet she still looks like she's in her 20s. Like that's a galactic ass you're dealing with right there. That's a celestial ass. So like that's a twerk that would wake the ancestors. I don't know if you can beat that. I don't know if they can beat that. But Jared, tell them who you think would win the big booty twerk off while I go lubricate my throat so I don't want to rip it out.
Perfect.
And I will be right back.
Well, I mean, I got to go with the science, right? And the science leads me to go with the most experienced woman. So Shira, I think she has to take it. Now, there is something to be said for natural assets. There's something to be said for natural talent, but experience is experience, and you've got 2,000 years of experience. Just think about the kind of woman that would have 2,000 years of twerking experience. Would you want to compete with that? I don't think so. I think you have to give it to her. Now, maybe it'd be close. Again, natural talent, sure. Physical assets, sure. Maybe they can make it close. But we're talking 2,000 years. 2,000 years of experience. I don't think you can overcome that. That's like, especially because we're talking 2,000 years of experience and she's still at her peak, at her prime, right? Maybe even better because she's like supernatural. So I don't know, man. I don't know how you can possibly overcome that. I feel like I can't say their hands are tied because it really has nothing to do with that. But I just feel like it's I don't think they can overcome those odds. So I got to give it to Ashira. Most contests, I'd probably give it to Ashira, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'd want to fight her. She seems like really, 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 really good at fighting. I don't know. I haven't seen her like in a whole lot of action, but if she's training all the people who I have seen in action, she could probably beat them up. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to fight her either. So probably twerking, hand-to-hand, weapons, probably going to win most contests. I don't know. Animaine will have to confirm when he gets back, but we'll see. Jonan, Amazon booty, but Chan is helped by her leotard. Well, that's true, but she did have a costume change. She did have a costume redesign, and now she's got. I can't scroll his window, but you'll see if you want to go to the Kickstarter page, and you can go. Hey, there you go. See, she doesn't have the leotard anymore, so that like she has a bit of a maybe you might even say a disadvantage now because she doesn't have it. Now, I think that the new outfit is really awesome. So I think that the new outfit, maybe not giving her advantage in a twerk off, it's a shame, but also kind of a necessary evil, right? You kind of have to because it looks so good. It's such a good outfit.
1,000%. And since we're talking about the outfit upgrade, I did put together a while ago just a little something for people because I know that some people mischance old outfit, and I understand. I mean, she wore that for over 2 years, and it served its purpose. But one of the ways that I've leveled up is as a character designer, and same thing with Go. And our ideas for how to make these characters really have a look that really communicates who they are has leveled up so much. To be honest, that first outfit, I kind of just picked stuff online that I thought would look good on her, and then Go kind of just drew it. Like, we didn't really spend a lot of time refining it. So 1,000% respect to people who like that version, but realistically, it was going to have to change at some point. And, I can admit that, as a creator now, that a lot of those character creations I made in 2021, even a bit of 2022, were I just threw shit on them. And whoever I had draw it, for the most part, they just drew it. Sometimes we'd work to refine it, but like, I think this one shows a bit more. First of all, it fits the vibe of the team better. Like
it's
this
exactly
one, I
what
feel like,
thinking,
I feel like this one would fit more if she were like a solo type of hero doing her own thing. But like this fits more of like the urban martial artist, urban ninja aesthetic.
She looks
also,
like she belongs with the other characters. They
1000%.
100% go together like that.
Yeah. And also her mask. Like, I'm gonna be real, y'all.
Yeah.
This new mask, when Go showed me this, he was like, "This is how we want to do the new mask," because we're figuring out like can we make it look like it fits more? Because this one just looks kind of, I don't know, it just doesn't. Like it's fine.
It just doesn't. Yeah.
But it's just not hidden. It's not cookies yet. That whole outfit.
Yeah.
Then we get this one, and if you guys have probably noticed how all the heretics have like some type of mouth pattern on their masks. So like Shen's is a dragon. Vice got the like the saber-toothed tiger sort of teeth, and hers is like a lion, almost like a mechanical lion type of mask there. So definitely glad that we got that. And of course, y'all been in here talking about this damn torque off, but Cacman asks, will old outfit Mickey still be a body pillow? I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm not gonna say no. That might be what we do next time. We might come with the vintage chant body pillow. That might be a stretch goal for the next campaign.
There you go.
Okay, we got Joni Level Fox, especially since the current outfit works for street level crime when it's cold out. But I'm all for it. Yeah. Little quick costume change. Yeah, definitely. Like she can rock it a bunch of different ways there. And let's go ahead and get into these characters, man, because I love these bastards so much. It really doesn't make sense.
It shows, when you talk
elite.
about them. It's like it's really clear that you love what you've done here, and I'm glad.
Yeah.
I enjoy that as like a potential reader.
I would hope so. And I'm a firm believer that in the early days, especially, your hype translates to other people when they may not be as knowledgeable about the story, but they can see your passion and your hype for it. And they're like, damn, if they like it this much, it got to be worth checking out, So we got our 3 heretics here. Shen, Chant, and Vice. Shen's real name is Terry, and he is the leader. The weight of a costly decision he made a year ago still keeps him down, but he uses it to motivate him to keep fighting. His sword bears 70 years of Gallant family heroism, as well as the soul of Ashira Songoku. He puts his heart and soul into everything he does, sometimes literally. And this down here, the aura skill, which I may not keep that name. I might name it something different. I'm playing around with aura skill, aura ability, aura technique, but it's going to be aura something definitely. But aura skill fits right now, and his is called the Surging Soul. So basically, if you've seen the mini arc, which I'll go ahead and we'll bring up some of the mini arc pages here, so you can. Wait, no, it's on this page. What the fuck am I talking about? This is why I put stuff on the page so you can see it. But so basically, his aura ability is he has the ability to channel his aura and send it out as projectile attacks. Admittedly, his is the most basic because, typically the leader is the more well-rounded character. So I didn't want to get too funky with his powers. So he can channel his aura and turn it into projectiles. And so far throughout the story, he's done that pretty much always with his sword. So he can charge his sword up like he does here, and it'll have like extra cutting power or extra. He can make it have it like almost like a stun effect, so that when he hits people, it doesn't slice them, but it like stuns them. So if he wants to hit you with the sword and not kill you, but still fuck you up bad, he'll do that.
Right.
And then he can send out energy waves as well. But there are also parts in the story where he's just fighting hand to hand. And so if he's punching at you and he needs to hit you from a distance, he'll punch the air and it'll send out almost like a little Hadouken sort of, but not necessarily with that formation. And there's going to be other things that he does with his aura. Like one thing I can say here that's going to come probably not in this issue, just because I don't want to front load too much in it, but he'll be able to make things like aura kunai. So like he'll make those little cool ninja knives sort of and throw them, but it'll be like his shards of his aura that he throws out. And yeah. And his fighting style I can speak on a little bit too. He's I didn't focus so much on giving them like a specific discipline because they're all very skilled in different forms of martial arts, but he's more focused on like powerful strikes with like takedowns. So he'd be more like that's why I fashioned him a lot after his fighting style a lot after Bruce Lee. So you can definitely say he's in like that Jeet Kune Do, Wing Chun, Kyokushin karate type of thing. That's definitely his speed. And then, damn it, I keep almost getting us flagged. It keep almost happening. Chithulu. Shut up. I know they're black, but they're not bastards. Go away. To the corner. You know what? That you've earned yourself the corner now, Arno. You've earned yourself the corner. But then we're coming up to our girl, the best girl, Chant, whose real name is Michaela Cheatham. She is the voice of reason, driven by her compassion and faith. Chant prefers quick takedowns. Say what now?
I said, voice.
Yes, definitely. You saw what I did there. You're the first person to call attention to that, so I was just comfortable with it just being a straightforward answer. But you caught it, so there you go. But Chant prefers quick takedowns to long brawls and is the least violent of the trio. When she's not singing for her school's concert choir or in a solo during Sunday service, she uses her voice as a weapon to help clean up Union City's streets. Or skill, the Heretic's Shriek. Now, this shriek is one that I am so happy to have in this book. And that's actually what she's charging right here. And I'll go ahead and I'll show the full page that shows that off, because that, like, you want to talk about
so
money
cool.
shot.
The art is so cool.
Like, everywhere I go, I was just on Missy's stream, Just Call Me Insane, the other night. And when I showed off that page, she was just like, I love it so much. It catches everyone's eye. I think even when Go was making that page, he was like, dude, wait till you see this finished, because I was on one when I did this one. And I have to agree, because this is just amazing. Absolutely amazing. And
it's so badass.
When I say this move and the way it's drawn is leveled up, the way it looked before, it just wasn't hitting. And I think, again, this is not me shitting on Go. My brain couldn't come up with a better way to have that look, to have that to have that thing look. And so I will bear some responsibility with that too. But I was like, going forward, definitely we gotta make that look so much better. And he just took that to heart and just said, oh, you want it to look better? I got you. So when she screams, her ass screams. And I love the way how she's completely, her whole body is enveloped by her aura. And I'm imagining like, again, going back to video games, when some characters, when you do, like, there's the super move that you do during the fight, and then there's when you start using the meter and it gets into like the ultimate moves, and then they'll like flash colors and stuff. So like, this is definitely what that would be for her. And the way she uses it is very unique, because it is a sound-based power, but because she's using her aura, her spiritual power, it's not just confined to just literal sound waves. And speaking a little bit more about what I was talking about earlier with, my Christian upbringing and stuff. One of the scriptures that I remember most clearly is from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And so I just took that and just said, okay, well, literally, what if one of the powers that the quote unquote angels in my universe have is the ability to manifest their voice into like literal energy or magical attacks. And so Ashira could do that. And I'll give you a little background here. One of Ashira's moves is called the Solar Wind Shout. So that
sounds cool.
Let your imagination run wild with how that was going to look. But this is, since they all manifest some version of what Ashira could do in life, her version of the Solar Wind Shout is the Heretic Shriek. And so it can be like a straightforward energy attack. It can be like she uses it here to sort of bust up this guy's attack. She can use it for herself as well. Like if she was just sitting here and sort of like meditating, she could hum and it would increase her own power. She can send out like soothing waves to like help heal her teammates. She can do things that are going to be more concussive and have more of like a almost like Cyclops' optic blast,
Okay,
and
cool.
yeah, so she gets
Very
crazy
versatile.
with it right here. Exactly. I definitely say out of everyone, Chant has the most versatile move set and the most versatile aura skill, and since she's the most non-violent one, I figured she'd have the one that she can definitely use it to fuck people up,
Yeah.
but she can also use it for a lot of different things.
But that's not all she can do with it. Yeah.
Exactly. I do want to address a couple things popping up in the chat before we move on to my man Vice. And Arno is constantly asking, does she have a voice like Whitney Houston? Is it Whitney Houston or Mariah Carey? She'd probably be more, because her voice does have a higher register, she's probably more Mariah. She's definitely going to be hitting them like absolute premium high notes in there. But yeah, we got Faith Thomas. Thank you for coming through. To my fellow African-American comic book creators, I see you and I acknowledge you. Thank you for breaking the system. I am always here to break the system. Let me tell you, whether it's whatever it is, whether it's the mainstream system, whether it's the current meta for how to do stuff in the indie scene, I'm 1000% here for everyone finding their own ninja way. And I think especially as a black man who unapologetically is making black shit, but wants to do so in a way that maybe isn't on the beaten path, I really appreciate that shout out. And there are a lot of other creators. I'm far from the only one. Like there's my man, Christopher Curtis, aka Cristal Inc., who is doing jazz. He was up here earlier this year, and he's currently working on a wrestling book, which I can't wait to see that one come out. We got my man Stokes the writer. I recently backed, I read his Trap or Die, which another wrestling book. Jared, I'm telling you, bro, you can just be out here eating with all these wrestling books.
I know.
And he has another one that I just recently backed. Shout out to him. There's a lot of black creators, man. There's Juice Lee. Shout out to Juice Lee, who has this really dope, like MMA / almost like Mortal Kombat-esque book about like this woman named Shannon, and she's training to be like an MMA champion, but like there's this whole other universe of like ethereal fighters, but she has her and her friends who they're during like the the standard fight stuff and doing their qualifiers and everything. It's a book called Scrap, SKRAP. Shout out to him. I love Scrap. I can't wait for Scrap issue 6. But yeah, man, I encourage everyone, and I encourage everyone's creativity. I want y'all to be out here making all the dopeness. But special shout out to my fellow black folks who are doing the damn thing and not just accepting what's given to us by the mainstream, from whether it's from the right or the left. Because I feel like getting caught up in like a bunch of culture war shit at this point, at this stage of the game, is useless. I personally think both sides are just so caught up in their own fuckery that if you're just out here trying to be entertained or to entertain people, you're better off doing your own thing instead of trying to hitch your cart to one of their wagons. Like my man John Douglas in here, who is at the swirl and back where he belongs in the chat harassing people. Thank you, sir. Please make sure Arno stays in his corner. Please make sure. Please make sure.
Hey, I have to interject. Animaine,
what's up?
You are now at 149% backed. You have another backer, and you're up to 747.
Hey, shout out to y'all doing the goddamn thing. Talk about goddamn, goddamn.
Yeah.
Goddamn. Goddamn.
Thank you to backer 26.
I have the best audience in the world. The Animaniacs go hard. I will always go hard for y'all. I have almost been made homeless. I have been scammed out of tens of thousands of dollars. I've had mental breakdown after mental breakdown, but I keep showing back up for y'all because I love y'all and I know y'all fucks with me. This is the type of support that we need out here in this world.
yeah.
This is why I always ride for my girl Squid. This is why I ride for Hero Darky Dark, Ethereal Dragon, Arno, everyone's favorite problematic cactus. All of y'all, Jonine Level Fox, I fuck with y'all the long way. And I'm not just saying that because y'all giving me your money, although I'm happy you're giving me your money. I'm saying that because I know that I haven't been the most consistent creator. I know that I haven't been the best when it comes to consistency. Part of that is because of what I'm going through. Part of that is because I'm just trying to be a better creator. And I can admit that that's a flaw that I still am working to get better at. But the fact that y'all continue to show up for your boy, the fact that you support me, the fact that some of y'all have gone over even and watched my stuff on Storm Corey HQ, which I don't push very much on this channel because I know a lot of people here, not necessarily y'all in the chat, but a lot of people who subscribe to me for this channel, they're not interested in that stuff. They proved that back when I was doing the midweek waifu videos. So I'm like, okay, you don't like it? I'll put it somewhere else. You know, I don't need everyone that is here for me to love every single thing that I do. I know people have different interests in everything, but
100%.
I'm just glad that y'all rock out with me so much. We are at 1 hour, 35 minutes. We are going to continue the goatedness that is talking about these characters. And in terms, I am going to get ready to shut it down in probably in the next 20. We're probably going to rock out for another 20, 25 minutes. I do have work tonight, though. You know, I was talking earlier about a channel that I edit for. I got stuff to do for them tonight, so I can't stay here too long. Don't worry, y'all. We're going to have a whole lot more streams, and keep your eyes locked because I'm going to be popping up on a lot of other people's channels, too. If you were here earlier, you heard me talking to John. I'm going to be on his stream. Squid, I don't know if we're connected on Discord, but go ahead and shoot me a DM on Discord. And if we're not friends up there, we'll go ahead and connect up there. Because I know you should be in my Discord, definitely. So definitely hit me up there because girl, I got some shit to update you about. Whew. Yeah, definitely. I see you, Joni, talking about that live action Starfire video. Yep, that's the latest thing I did on that channel. I did a whole video. It is the biggest video that you will ever see about Anna Joke, who played Starfire in live action. I promise you, you will not find another video on YouTube or anywhere else that goes in depth as I did about that character. What about her pissed fans off so much, ways that it could have been better, examples, and it's not just 50 minutes of me ranting. Like,
how many hours
going
did you
through.
spend researching for that? Seriously.
Yes. Put it like this.
Yeah.
I got the idea.
I know. Yeah.
No, put it for real. I got the idea to do that video a year ago because the first Starfire proper video that I did on that channel was going through her like top 5 most iconic designs. And they could be iconic for good or bad reasons. And the one thing that I didn't include was live action Starfire because I'm like, that for me to really lay out everything I need to about that Starfire, it needs its own video.
Yeah.
And then life kept happening. And then the more I would sit down to do the video, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going deep enough. I would be like, oh, I'm going to break down all her designs across the 4 seasons. But I thought for me to really do this discussion justice, I need to talk about the fandom and all the bullshit that happened in the fandom with the character. But then in order for people to really get that, I need to go through the show. And it's 4 seasons of fuckery. So I just, after a certain point, I just was like, man, let me make sure people actually even want this video. Because this is going to be the most researched and probably most highly edited video that I've ever done. And the response was overwhelming. There were like 4 other options. That one won by like over 60% of like which Starfire video they want me to do next. And that was back in like April. So
man,
basically between April and last week, I've been busting my ass for that video, and people have been loving it. Like, it's one of the best performing videos on the channel. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, definitely, if that's your speed, definitely check me out over there. But let's go ahead and get back to this. Y'all are fucking the shit and the urine. If you never hear me say again, I love y'all, motherfuckers. And John, I will tell you in Discord, because I don't know if they want that information out there. But let's get back to these characters on Bond of the Blade. Bro, I can't wait for y'all to see this trailer I'm cutting right now. It is the best trailer I've ever cut for myself. I wish my flunking computer would cooperate so that I could freaking... I didn't forget anything, Arno. Shut up. I didn't forget anything. There is no forget. There is no forget to that. And also shout out to Zeus Cleopatra. Y'all know I love Storm. Y'all know I love Storm. And I didn't get a chance to really talk about her well enough on this channel. And I said, you know what? If I'm going to make a channel dedicated to waifus, Storm's got to be one of them. So if you've ever wanted to learn about Storm, if you've ever been curious about something about her backstory or a certain iteration of Storm, definitely follow me over there. Matter of fact, gonna go ahead, do this. Gonna go ahead and drop it in the chat. That is my second channel, Storm Corey HQ. Y'all go ahead and subscribe to me over there. Follow me over there. I cover everything. I do reviews, plot breakdowns, theory videos, fun bullshit rant videos. Basically, one of the ones I did more recently was I went through the 20 actresses who have most been named as fans as like the best pick for Storm, and I used that to set up who I think my top picks would be. And after that, I use that to set up what I'm writing my own like X-Men movie series if Storm were like the lead character. So like the way we went through the Foxverse, and like those were really Wolverine movies, but they were X-Men movies, really kind of like that. Yeah, definitely kind of like that. Yeah, John, I get it, man. Look, YouTube, this algorithm decides when it wants to promote people, even when the content's doing good. I understand, bro. Like, that's why sometimes I be sending stuff to y'all personally, or I tag y'all in it in the Discord, because YouTube doesn't do its job. The glorious algorithm doesn't do its job too much. And shout out to Ethereal, because he's been over there. I think Ethereal, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you've been over there since day one. I think you were, if not like the first, you were one of the first people from my primary channel that I saw pop up over there. So shout out to you, man. Yes. But we also got to talk about these heretics still, because we got my man Will Hart, aka Vice. He is the Brawn, wisecracking and street smart with a shady past that continues to haunt him. After having lived on the wrong side of the law, he's the sturdiest member of the team in every sense of the word and refuses to be moved again. Now, Vice is a very interesting character I have here. He is both, like I said in the description here, he is the wisecracker. Forgive me, Jared. That was not a shot. That was not me using a racial slur at you. Please don't clutch pearls.
I'm going to find someone and start clutching them immediately.
Okay, valid. But he is the smart ass of the group, and we see that a lot on the pages where he's the one making the slick remarks. And if you remember in the mini arc, he was the one that started joking on Stinger because her hair was so fucked up. He's that type of guy. He gonna hit you with like the verbal zingers while he's also raining down the bombs of the elbows and the knees and everything. But his jokingness is partly a way to mask the fact that he has lived a pretty rough life, and one of that involves something that happened to him back when the heretics, long before they masked up or anything, back where they were in high school. He lived a very different life. Without spoiling too much, he lived a life that was far less honorable than what he's doing now. And it resulted in a very bad situation with one of his closest friends from childhood, and he carries a lot of guilt and a lot of shame with that. And so the reason why I think he makes such a great tank and he's so sturdy is because out of all the heretics, he's definitely been through the most. So he can literally, take a lot of shit. And his physical sturdiness is reinforced by his aura skill, which is called the Seraph Shell, which, if you did not see, is this right here. He kind of has almost the most broken of the skills because he literally gets wings. He literally gets Ashira's wings and is just like, you know what? I just got wings now. Fuck it. And
Nice.
he can use them in a lot of different ways. Obviously they're wings, so he can fly with them, but they're so sturdy and so durable that he can also just use them as a shield, and he'll use them to protect himself, to protect others, to basically he's the perfect group tank. He can just sit there and just eat up those things. And I'll give y'all
And he draws aggro by being wisecracking.
Exactly, draws aggro. So he's a perfect tank. He can taunt you. He has crowd control. He draws aggro. But I'll let y'all in on a little secret here. This is something that I haven't shown on the pages yet, but these wings do more than just block damage. They also absorb it to a certain extent. And as they're taking damage, they're actually like holding on to some of it, whether it's the kinetic energy of it's like bullets or something, or the like residual spiritual energy. And after a certain point, Vice can use that as an attack. So yeah, and I'll let your imaginations run wild with what that will look like. But let me just tell you, he can take a lot, but he ain't gonna take but so much before he dishes it out back at you.
Nice.
And he also, since he is such a power puncher, he has his main focuses is just heavy strikes that are like, he's definitely the one who's going for like the one hitter quitters. So he's more of a boxer,
throwing the bombs,
Muay Thai type guy, hitting you with like devastating uppercuts. Or I don't know if it's on this page, but it may be on, it's definitely on the page I have pulled up here. So definitely, if he's fighting you, once he decides to actually get seriously, because sometimes he'll fight you and not even really care about the fight.
Right.
But if he does, then you probably gonna get one of these here. Just give you a nice, just come right in with the full blown knee. Like straight up, because I figured, hey, since he has like a Muay Thai-esque fighting style, you got to have him throwing some knees and elbows, and just give you a nice little dentist, little call it a ghetto root canal. He just give you right, just bam, off, gone. So, and as bad as this is, you want him to hit you with one of these because he's still somewhat holding back. When he starts using his wings offensively, he's done. He's done and you're done, but in a different way. But yeah, the Seraph Shell, that's my man Vice right there.
Very nice.
Believe it or not, actually, Muhammad Ali helped inform me of a bit of his character, because if you know anything about Muhammad Ali, he was when he was in his prime, and even as he started to decline as a fighter, he was known as the Louisville Lip was actually one of his nicknames, and he had a mouth on him. He was rapping before rap was rap. He would be in his interviews making up rhymes and talking about, predicting the round he's going to knock his opponent out in. But it wasn't like misplaced bravado. It was like genuine pride and everything. So, and he had that ability to go from like joking, being kind of a showboater, to like fucking people up in the ring. Like seeing the way he can just, come up with strategies and everything on the fly. And to get slightly serious here a little bit, like the fact we were talking about the racial component of me being a creator and everything a little bit ago, and the fact that Muhammad Ali was such a passionately pro-Black person, and he did incorporate a sense of community pride, racial pride in what he did. And he loved himself, he loved his Blackness, and he loved his people. And that informed a lot of his his energy and be like, no, I'm not gonna be that guy that's just soft and timid and keeps my head down because you want me to. I know I'm great and I'm gonna show my greatness to you. And if you can't handle it, that's your problem, you know. And so I definitely wanted to give Vice a lot of that energy. Big Ric Flair energy. Woo!
There you go.
100%. Yeah, definitely, definitely. And last but nowhere near least, we have everyone's favorite Seraph. We got, first of all, can you get up here? We got my girl, Ashira. Ashira, that's right. Now, weirdly enough, Ashira is one of the few characters I have that has always only just been a character, and I really didn't have a lot of like external influence for. Like, as I said earlier, Shen is a lot of there's less of me is in him now than when I first started writing this, but he still kind of is a self-insert. And Chant and Vice are composite characters made up of like different close friends that I had throughout high school and college, some of whom I'm lucky enough to still be friends with now. So shout out to y'all, because I know some of y'all are watching this. But Ashira was always ever just Ashira. I remember I just had this image of this motherly, like wise warrior character who very much had like a big protective spirit, but also would like fuck people up. And the fact that characters like Storm and Wonder Woman fit that sort of vibe as well in one way or another, that's something that I actually found out after the fact. Like by the time I saw how much she had in common with those characters, she had already been drawn and everything. I already knew her well enough to be able to like, have her be drawn and everything. So she existed, almost fully formed in my mind even before I had go draw her. Which is one of the reasons why she has so much energy now. But a little bit about her. Ashira Songa Oku, the Winding Flame, which, okay, I'm going to say this now, but I want to see who catches it. What do you think of when I say her name, Jared? I tried to make it obvious, but I just want to see.
Winding. I don't think this is. I really don't think this is it. But the first thing I thought of was like Snake Way, because of the winding road. But that's probably not anywhere near what you're going for.
Well, I mean, you're close. Say her second name fast.
Oh God! Right. Oh my God! That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh man, I love it.
So the fact that
You beautiful man, that's fantastic.
The fact that I love Dragon Ball,
oh man,
several of you know, meant that I had to at least name one of these characters in sort of a Dragon Ball-y way. And I tried to take a very Akira Toriyama-esque approach to naming some of my characters, which you'll see more as you meet more of them. But I figured Songa Oku, first of all, since she is more of a African-based character, African with a touch of Middle Eastern sort of thing, I want to give her a name that sounds like it would come from that part of the world. So I actually took an Avatar: The Last Airbender approach, because they have the term Agni Kai, which Agni is Indian word for which is the god of fire, and then Kai, which is Japanese for spirit. So they took two words from two different cultures that were both Asian and used it to make something different.
Nice.
So that's what I did. Songa Oku comes from two different words, and forgive me if I confuse these because it's been a while since I've actually looked this up. I should be better at this, but I do know one is a Yoruba word, songa, which means to wind or to wrap, like something is wrapping around in the air, like something spiraling. And oku means wall. One is a Zulu word and one is a Yoruba word. I confuse which one is which because I am stupid, but I took that idea from from Avatar: The Last Airbender was like, you know what? Because I was looking up words that mean what I want them to mean. Kind of, and then the reason why I said I did it in a very Akira Toriyama-esque way is because for all my Dragon Ball nerds out here, that the term Kamehameha means something in Japanese. It means turtle destruction wave, but it's also the name, the English way we say it, which is for all my my millennials and Gen Xers, we said it Kamehameha before we heard it in Japanese, which is the correct way to say it. And Kamehameha is actually a Hawaiian king. And so I thought, okay, so I can do it kind of like that. So I kind of combined both naming elements. And since I figured Ashira, she's a seraph, which if you know anything about seraphs, one of their depictions in the Bible is these giant flaming winged serpents. And they have 6 wings. So I thought, hey, maybe I'll have Ashira, since she does have a transformation where she turns into a giant seraph or a giant serpent, which has a ethereal flame sort of aura. What if her second name had something to do with that? So I found 2 words from 2 African languages that allude to that. So her last name is literally telling you what she transforms into, because I am a huge fucking nerd.
You just like the fusion is just nonstop. Everything is just getting fused.
It is definitely. It just never stops. It never fucking stops.
Never
But
stops.
a little bit about who she is, not instead of nerding out obviously about her name for 5 hours. She was born born over 2,000 years ago. Ashira is a seraph warrior who gave her life to save the world. But rather than yielding her soul to the heavens, she bound it to a sword so that she could remain on earth. This way, she could continue her work beyond the grave and perhaps walk the earth again. Now she exists as the Gallon family guardian angel, having lived vicariously through them for the past 70 years. Though she gets stronger with each bond, she has been dead for nearly 500 years and had all but lost the will to return to the physical world. But through the heretics, her hopes to return to life have been restored. Now she no longer sees herself as a living weapon. The heretics' fight is truly her fight. To her, it's a cause worth living for. So with Ashira, it was kind of tricky figuring out exactly what her role in the story would be, because, it could be so easy for me to just have her be like this super broken fighter character that just gives these characters ridiculous powers. But I'm like, that's boring. Like, even if, not to spoil anything about the story, but I do intend for Ashira to get, relatively pretty strong. Just saying, if at a certain point in the story she can go up against Goku and give him a run for his money, might happen. Nice. If she and Wonder Woman could reasonably have a fight where, you don't automatically know who's going to win, don't be surprised. But I figured what would be the most interesting angle to give to her so that she's not just a MacGuffin. So I figured, with her backstory, her personality being what it is, she essentially is this ancient protector who's used to just being like this super capable fighter who is, dedicated to the cause. And kind of like we were talking earlier about all the different like D&D classes of warrior and everything. She would kind of be, I don't know if paladin would be the right term for her, but she definitely had like an almost religious dedication to the protector warrior life. And so that's why when it came time for her to sacrifice herself, she was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm here for. But through a magical spell called the Vicarious Bond, she fused her essence to this sword before her body died. And the way the Vicarious Bond works, whoever comes in contact with the item that the spirit's bonded to, they have the chance to obviously bond. And it's something, it must be willing. Okay, so it's not like they touch it and then she possesses them.
Right.
If they touch the blade, that'll sort of temporarily open their mind up to hearing her. And it has to be mutual. Like they both have to want it, which is why it kind of took her so long to start bonding to people, because people would, throughout the years, they would hear stories of this ancient sword that gifted people powers, but like the people who would pick it up would be like pieces of shit, like slave owners, corrupt rulers, monarchs who are like tyrants, and she would like either drive them insane. Like she's like, no, I'm not giving my power to no fuckhead. So she would either drive them insane or like literally shock them until
Nice.
she ended up making a reputation that the sword was cursed. And so like for a long time,
Nice.
no one would touch it until Terry's great grandfather actually picked it up. And he was like a pastor. And that's, guys, when I start talking a bit more about the Gallon family, like that's going to be stories worth telling in and of themselves. I'm just pulling up some of the pictures here to see from the mini art where we kind of went into it. But she bonded with them. And sounds like a crusader. Yeah, I like that term. Wait, hold on. Jared, you may be more familiar with the crusader than me. Would you say that fits? Because I
think
they
it could
would
fit. I actually it's been a while since I played it, but I used to play Neverwinter Nights, and I had a monk that had ability where you could do like a sacred flame fist. So I like actually that kind of reminds me of. She'd multi-class, that's for sure. So she'd have definitely some levels in monk, some levels in paladin. I think she's kind of a little of everything because I mean she can do so much. So but yeah, I get monk vibes because she wears lighter armor or she wears cloth. She's got some where she wears some heavy armor like that, but even that looks like it's not super duper heavy, and she's very talented with a variety of weapons. So I think she's a little monk, a little paladin, maybe a little fighter. She's got a little of everything there.
Yep, definitely. If to put it in Smite terms, because y'all know I'm Smite trash, she would be in the warrior class where she's like a jack of all trades, not necessarily a huge master. Like you can even see among her friends here, like you got my man Midas right there, who he's clearly the group tank, and you know he's another seraph. Don't be fooled by the lion head. He's also a seraph. So like he's clearly the most physically imposing one, indomitable. And then we have right here, this is actually her sister Yadina, who she's not nearly as big as Ashira, but she's more like an assassin who cheats by also being skilled at like archery and shit. And then we got Bo. And
I love his design so much.
Yeah, Bo is so cool. He's one of the characters that got a redesign, but his essence will remain the same. Because the thing about Bo is he's a cherub, and as a cherub, he's not physically anywhere near as strong as these three guys, but he does use a lot of spiritual based and magical type of things. And I had to redesign him because this is another one of those designs that we kind of just slapped together, like his clothes. And yes, as Cact,
he knows the lore, yeah.
He knows the lore. Shout out. Yes, he was actually inspired by Emmett Till. So he still looks like. A matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all more. Y'all getting so much behind the scenes shit. Don't never say I don't give y'all nothing. I'll never say it. But yeah, I do. I really like the whole toga thing, but because it was so random and it doesn't really translate a lot to who he is as a character, I was like, I want to give him a different main outfit. So he still wears that. But that's like something he wore because like he went to Rome one day and he had fun. And because he's like a very lighthearted character, he's, you know, in his essence, he's kind of like the Aang of the group, the kid Goku in that way. But let me pull up the current design here. Since we're getting all into the lore, we're doing a lore deep dive. We are at 2 hours and 2 minutes. We're gonna still go ahead and keep rocking out for a little bit. What are we currently at? Jared, if you would update us, please, on the count while I get this picture up here.
I would be happy to.
Please.
Let's see here. All right. So the campaign is 26 backers with $747 raised. And we are, let's see here, looking at 13 live viewers on the stream right now.
You guys fucking rock. I love y'all so much. I love y'all. Shout out to y'all. You rock. But yes, this is what we're currently rocking with Bo's current design. And it's not in its final stage. This is obviously drawn by the magnificent Igika. I love Igika. She is so dope.
She's great.
She threw this together here. And so this is what I was saying earlier when I said it's like a combination of an African dashiki and a kung fu suit. So yeah, that's why we got the sleeves and everything. If you remember Koenma from Yu Yu Hakusho, kind of in that vibe. So this would be like his just regular clothes when he's not trying to be like in disguise, but whenever he's trying to blend in with humans, then he'll just wear like period appropriate clothes. And so that's where the toga comes into play. But yeah, I'm thinking of replacing the arrows here with something like a flower, since cherubs. Okay, another lore thing, and then we're going to get off the deep lore because I feel like it's getting too much into weeds. But since in the story there's like three, I call them houses, the three different houses of the sort of the groups of angels. So there's there's seraphs, there's cherubs, and there's archangels. Although I'm thinking of changing archangel to Grigori, but don't quote me on that. But and each of them represents a different universal force. So like, you know how in Hinduism, for example, they really revere creation, preservation, and destruction. So I sort of incorporated that here by saying each one of the houses represents a different universal force. So cherubs represent creation, seraphs represent preservation, and archangels represent destruction. And destruction doesn't mean like evil destruction, but more like it is a necessary force in the universe. It is fundamental for the existence of things. Exactly. You can't have creation without destruction. And so since bow represents creation, I think I might put a flower here, like a lotus flower.
Yeah,
I'm thinking of
that's
that.
a good idea.
But yeah, that's a little bit of backstory into who the characters are and why they do what they do. Ashira has been rocking it out with Terry's family now for 70 years. And she is currently partnered up with the Heretics, and she is aiding in their salvation of their city. But she's not just doing it, just like all the Heretics have their own personal reasons for doing what they do, so does Ashira. And a big part of Ashira's journey is learning how to find and truly enjoy life. Like that's actually why she and Bo are such good friends, because he's one of the people who just reminds her to take time and enjoy the simple things. Like you can just be naked on the beach sometimes. You can, walk through the grass and enjoy the way it feels on your feet and stuff. You can have a nice meal. You can, even though, Ashira is a big fighter, so sometimes she's going to spar, you can have a nice little friendly spar with people, you can do whatever you want. Everything doesn't have to be, duty and valor and all that big stuff, blah, 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 blah. Also, someone asked, Cact, of course, asked, are there going to be thrones and powers? There actually is going to be an expansion more than like the three classes that I am going to include. I'm not going to say what they are, but as the story goes on, there will be more different types of angels that come into play when applicable. But
very cool.
Yeah, that basically is the setup story for the Heretics, and I've said all I will say without spoiling stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much. We are at 2 hours and 7 minutes. I am going to get ready to close it out here. It is over. It is past 8 my time, and in a bit I do have to get ready to start the work. But last call here. If you have not done so yet, please back Bond of the Blade issue number 1. You are guaranteed to get 40 pages at least. And if we hit 3K, just to refresh y'all, for those who weren't here earlier, you will also, if we hit 3K in backers, we will add 4 whole new pages to the story. I will literally just be like, hey, we adding 4 more pages, go, and we'll just have them in there. It comes with so many different things. We have these 3 glorious covers here. 2 made by my interior artist and good friend Goichi Monji. 1 made by the very talented Cody Conyers. We got the spicy picks that I'm going to flash on the screen real quick because it's the end. One of them was made by Ash Kahari, who is of jazz fame. She actually drew jazz. She is the pretty much official artist for Christopher Curtis. Shout out to Crystal Inc. She did that one. She's a goated artist. Got to work with her again. And yeah, once we hit $1,000, we will be doing the fighting game move prints. Got to come up with a better name for that catcher name. But you will be seeing the literal move sheets for the heretics and all the main characters of the story as if you were playing Street Fighter. And you will be able to even know not only how the moves will look, but even what combo you would have to do on the controller if you are actually playing as them. But yeah, man, we got a lot going on. We have the concept art book. We have the ability to be canonized, either yourself or a character of yours drawn in, which is currently sitting at there's still 19 of these left altogether. And then that's also an option in the Ultra combo. So definitely get in there while you have a chance, man, and get this stuff. This campaign is going to be going on for the next month. It's probably going to end up being a few days past a month because I'm also going to be launching this on Fund My Comic. I think earlier I saw someone ask, is it going to be on Indiegogo? It's definitely going to be on Fund My Comic. I'm not familiar enough with Indiegogo for me to feel confident that it would really make a difference up there this time. But depending on this turnout, I may put the second one on Indiegogo as well when we get to issue 2. But definitely it's on Kickstarter right now. It is at the top of the chat as well as in the description. Go ahead over there, look through everything. You can look at the spicy prints and not have to just zoom by them because you're worrying about YouTube being YouTube. Look at the art, soak it up, get it into your eye holes, and yeah, go ahead and get them back that shit, yo. Because this is
share
only
it
the
with
beginning.
people too, not just people on social media or retweet it, but share it with people you know and let them know that you're excited about it and why. Because that's like you guys are what makes the crowdfunding work. So share it with everybody that you know, not just on social media, but please do share it. Let everyone know about Animaine as a creator. Let them know about the campaign, but tell people that you know about it too, and tell them why you're excited about it.
Exactly, bro. Because it comes down to the hype factor. Like
Whoa,
hype.
whoa! We got another backer. Let's update it.
Refresh.
Let's update it.
Refresh. We are.
I saw it jump up there.
What? Mine still says 747. There it is. Look. Now it's at 787.
787.
787. Let's go.
Woo!
Let's go. Can we get it to 800 before the end of the chat? Can we get it to 800 before? I feel like I'm in church or auctioneer. Yes, the Spirit is moving in me right now, and the Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit is working through me, through his diligent servant Ashera. She is whispering in my ear and telling me that somebody has $15 in their pocket right now, and if you can give that $15 to the Church of Bond of the Blade, the Church of Geronimo Studios, then you will be doing the Lord's work. He's telling me somebody right now has $25 in their pocket. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. He's telling me there's $25 in the pocket. They can get the combo pack. Yes, Lord. You can get 2 covers for a discounted price. Share it. Brother Jared was just telling you to share. Sharing is caring. And you can get 2 comic books and you can put it in their hand. Put it in. You don't even have to just tell them to go to a page. You can put the physical book in their hand. In the hand, the doors of the church are open. Is there one? Is there one? Is there one? Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Doors of the church are open. Yes, Lord. I need praise and worship. Bro, listen. I have a praise and worship song that I'm going to probably play next time.
John.
It's not what you think it is, but it will be so on brand. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Brother John. Just put $2 in the collection plate. Thank you, Brother John. Thank you, Brother John. Oh, my brother, testify. Yes, Lord. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills, and everywhere. Hey, now. I stomp, but I'm on the second floor of my tabernacle, and I don't want to cause the rafters to shake, because then the demons will get loose, because they be under there. But I told Satan to get thee behind me, and he is under my feet. I'm stomping on his head right now. I'm so pleased with the turnout we got today. Okay,
Amen.
I'm done. That's had to step into my little church hat real quick.
Whoa!
Hold up. Wait a minute. I'm getting it. The Spirit is moving. The Spirit is moving. The Spirit is moving. Hold on now. Give it time. Sometimes the Spirit's a little slow. Brother Jared, tell the people what we're doing here. Alien Pro has given $50. Here's some more.
My man, thank
From
you.
my friends. Thank you very much. That is a donation that will be very much appreciated, good sir. Thank you so much. The
You
Lord
are the
bless
man.
you. The Lord will bless you. The Lord will bless you. Hallelujah. Isn't it
Thank
good?
you so much, dude. That's
Isn't it good?
amazing.
Isn't it good? Spirit is moving today. Now it's hot. Spirit is moving. That's the flames. You see the flames on the shirt? That's the flames of the
Amen.
Spirit of the Lord. That's the Lord's Spirit right there. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Is there one? Is there another? Is there another? Keep it going. Keep it going. I wish I could keep it going because goddamn, y'all are the absolute.
What an amazing
Y'all
stream.
the absolute truth. I love you all
Great
so
stream.
freaking much. This has been the best party stream to celebrate.
Hell yes, dude.
This absolutely already monumentous day, and it's only gonna get better, y'all. Thank you so much. Keep your eyes locked on this channel. Like I said before, I'm going to be appearing on a lot of streams for the next month on some familiar faces and some new faces. So keep your eyes locked for all of that. And I can't wait to see y'all again. Thank you so much to my man Jared for coming through. Thank you so much to John Douglas, Big Dick John Douglas, for spending some time with us before he went off to make the ducats. Jared, do you have anything to say to the people before we close out?
Really just thank you. Thank you for supporting Animaine. I'm here because and I mean here doing this because of Animaine supporting me, because he's one of the genuinely nicest people that I've ever had the pleasure of interacting with. I can't praise him enough. He is extremely kind, extremely professional. If you need video editing, whatever, like he's the guy to go to. I can't praise him enough as far as like his character and his creativity. I'm so happy to see him succeeding with this, and I'm so grateful for everybody here that is coming out for him. Thank you for backing his campaign. Really sincerely thank you, and I hope that you guys push it to the 3,000 and beyond. And like I said, tell everybody he's a great creator. Tell him to check out his channel. Tell him to check out this book, and just give him a chance, because he's going to give you an amazing story and a hell of a ride. So that's all I've got to say. You're a great guy. All the best wishes that I can give to you, man.
And I couldn't have said it better myself if I wasn't myself, man. That's the best praise I could ask for. Thank you so much, man, for spending time with me. Thank y'all for spending these last 2 hours and 15 minutes with us. We will see you all again on this channel. There more than likely will be at least one stream before the closeout stream, so there will at the very least be 2 more streams on this channel coming soon. But just keep your eyes locked, man. But we will talk to y'all later.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.